Welcome to our YouTube channel, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of numismatics, uncovering the hidden treasures and remarkable stories behind the coins that pass through our hands every day. Today, we're embarking on an extraordinary journey to explore one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in modern American history, the 2008 Lincoln penny, a seemingly humble 1-cent piece that, due to rare and dramatic minting errors, has the potential to be worth an astonishing $60 million. Buckle up, coin enthusiasts, as we unravel the captivating tale of this penny, detailing the specific errors and mistakes that elevate its value to such jaw-dropping heights, and speculate on the possibilities that make it a holy grail for collectors worldwide. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, featuring Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of the 16th president on the obverse and, in 2008, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, marking the final year of this design before the 2009 bicentennial series. By 2008, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies annually, with the Philadelphia and Denver mints striking over 5.4 billion combined, making the 2008 penny a common sight in pocket change. Most 2008 pennies, in circulated condition, are worth just their face value of 1 cent, and even uncirculated examples typically fetch only a few dollars unless they're in pristine mint state, graded MS67 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC. However, what transforms an ordinary 2008 penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure is the presence of rare and significant minting errors, imperfections that occurred during the production process, creating coins that are unique, visually striking, and highly sought after by collectors. Let's dive into the specific errors that could make a 2008 penny worth $60 million, starting with one of the most dramatic and valuable, the double-struck off-center error. A double-struck off-center error occurs when a planchet, the blank metal disc used to create a coin, fails to fully eject from the minting press after the first strike and is struck again, with the second strike landing off-center, creating a distorted and overlapping design. In 2023, a 2008 Lincoln penny graded MS65 with a flip-over double-struck off-center error sold on eBay for $1,450, a significant sum for a penny, but imagine a 2008 penny with an even more extreme version of this error, where the second strike is 50% or more off-center, causing Lincoln's portrait to appear twice, with one image shifted dramatically to the edge, leaving portions of the design incomplete or missing entirely. Such an error, especially if it occurs on both the obverse and reverse, could push the coin's value into the millions due to its rarity and visual impact. For instance, if the second strike flips the coin, resulting in Lincoln's portrait appearing on both sides or the Lincoln Memorial superimposed over the obverse, the coin becomes a one-of-a-kind anomaly, akin to the legendary 1943 bronze cent, which has fetched over $1 million at auction due to its wartime composition error. The rarity of such a double-struck 2008 penny, combined with its pristine condition and dramatic misalignment, could easily justify a $60 million valuation, as collectors prize coins that are not only rare but also tell a compelling story of minting mishaps. Another error that could elevate a 2008 penny to astronomical value is the broad strike, where the planchet is struck outside the confines of the collar, the metal ring that shapes the coin's edge, causing the metal to spread outward, creating a larger than normal diameter and a smooth, unreeded edge. A 2008 Lincoln cent graded MS64 with a broad strike error sold for $945 on eBay in 2022, but a more extreme broad strike, where the coin is significantly oversized and retains all design details despite the lack of a collar, could command exponentially more. If this broad strike also exhibits a high-grade condition, such as MS67, with vibrant red luster and no signs of wear or spotting, its value could soar into the millions, as collectors are drawn to the dramatic, almost alien appearance of such coins. Imagine a 2008 penny that's 20% larger than standard, with Lincoln's portrait stretched slightly but fully intact, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse appearing almost painterly in its distortion. This kind of error could be the centerpiece of a major auction, potentially approaching that $60 million mark due to its uniqueness and the competitive bidding among wealthy collectors. Another rare and valuable error is the brockage, where one side of the coin bears a mirror image of the opposite side's design, caused when a previously struck coin sticks to the die and impresses its design onto the next planchet. For a 2008 penny, a brockage error might show Lincoln's portrait on the reverse instead of the Lincoln Memorial, or vice versa, creating a surreal, mirrored effect. Brockage errors are exceptionally rare, as they require a specific sequence of minting failures, and a 2008 penny with a full, clear brockage in mint state could easily fetch hundreds of thousands, if not millions, at auction. For example, an 1828 large cent with a brokerage error sold for $5,640 at a Heritage Auctions event, and a modern penny with a similar error, especially from a high-profile year like 2008, could see values skyrocket due to its scarcity and the intrigue it generates among numismatists. If this brokerage were combined with another error, such as an off-center strike or a wrong planchet, the coin's value could climb even higher, potentially into the 8-figure range, as collectors covet coins with multiple, compounding errors. Speaking of wrong planchet errors, these are among the most coveted mistakes in numismatics, occurring when a coin is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a foreign coin. In 2008, a Lincoln penny struck on a British pound planchet, which is larger and heavier than a standard penny, would be a numismatic unicorn. Such an error would result in a penny with Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial struck on a thicker, heavier blank, possibly with a different metal composition, such as the nickel brass used for British coins. A 2006 D penny struck on a wrong planchet sold for $920 at a 2022 Great Collections auction, but a 2008 penny with a similar error, especially if struck on a high-value or exotic planchet like silver or gold, as seen in rare experimental strikes, could push its value into the millions. Imagine a 2008 penny struck on a silver dime planchet, similar to the 1968 D Lincoln cent error that's prized for its 90% silver content. This coin would not only have numismatic value but also intrinsic metal value, making it a dual-threat collectible. If authenticated by a body like PCGS or NGC and graded MS65 or higher, such a coin could easily command $60 million at auction, especially if it's the only known example, as collectors and investors would vie for the chance to own a piece of minting history. Another error to consider is the saddle strike, a rare phenomenon where a planchet is struck by two dies simultaneously, often from adjacent presses, resulting in multiple impressions on the same coin. A 2008 P. Lincoln penny graded MS63 with a saddle strike sold for $1,050 at a 2020 Heritage Auction sale, but a more dramatic saddle strike, with clear triple or quadruple impressions of Lincoln's portrait or the Lincoln Memorial, could be worth exponentially more. Picture a 2008 penny with Lincoln's face appearing 3 times, each at a slightly different angle, or the Lincoln Memorial repeated across the surface, creating a chaotic yet mesmerizing effect. This kind of error would be a showstopper at any auction, potentially fetching tens of millions due to its rarity and visual appeal. The value of such a coin would be further enhanced if it were struck in the 95% copper composition used for some 2008 pennies, rather than the standard copper-plated zinc, as copper coins from this era are scarcer and more desirable due to the rising cost of copper, which led the mint to switch to zinc in 1982, with some transitional errors persisting into later years. Die errors, such as doubled dies, also play a significant role in elevating a 2008 penny's value. A doubled die occurs when the die strikes the planchet multiple times at slightly different angles, causing visible doubling in the design elements, such as the letters In God We Trust, or Lincoln's portrait. A 2006 D Lincoln penny with an obverse double die sold for $1,050 in 2023, and a 2008 penny with a strong, visible double die, especially on both sides, could command a premium far exceeding this. If the doubling is dramatic, say, Lincoln's eye or the columns of the Lincoln Memorial appear clearly doubled in high-grade condition, the coin could be valued in the hundreds of thousands or more, as double die errors are among the most iconic and sought-after in numismatics, with the 1955 double die cent fetching over $100,000 in top grades. A 2008 penny with an extreme double die, authenticated and graded MS67 or higher, could approach the $60 million mark if it's deemed a unique or near-unique variety, especially given the historical significance of 2008 as the final year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Another rare error is the die cap, where a planchet sticks to the die and becomes the new die face, striking subsequent planchets and creating coins with one side normal and the other distorted or ncaa. A 2006 P. Lincoln cent with a die cap error sold for $1,250 on eBay, but a 2008 penny with a pronounced die cap, where the obverse is a perfect ncaa impression of the Lincoln Memorial or vice versa, would be a numismatic marvel. If this die cap were combined with another error, such as an off-center strike or a wrong planchet, the coin's value could skyrocket, potentially reaching the millions due to its one-of-a-kind nature. Imagine a 2008 penny where the obverse shows a deep, ncaa Lincoln Memorial, while the reverse is struck on a dime planchet. This combination of errors would make the coin a legend in the numismatic world, with a value approaching $60 million if authenticated and graded in pristine condition. Lamination cracks, where the metal surface splits or peels due to impurities in the planchet, can also add significant value, especially if the crack is large and dramatic. A 2009 D Lincoln penny with an obverse lamination crack sold for $410 in 2020, but a 2008 penny with a massive lamination crack that affects a significant portion of Lincoln's portrait or the Lincoln Memorial could fetch much more, particularly if it's in mint state. Collectors are drawn to lamination errors for their organic, almost sculptural appearance, and a 2008 penny with a severe lamination crack, combined with another error like a broad strike or off-center strike, could push its value into the millions. Another possibility is the rim cud, a raised bump on the coin's edge caused by a broken die, which can add value if pronounced. A 2008 D Oklahoma State quarter with a rim cud sold for $520 in 2020, and a similar error on a 2008 penny, especially if it affects a large portion of the rim and is paired with another error, could significantly boost its value. The combination of multiple errors on a single coin, say, a double-struck, off-center, broad-struck penny with a lamination crack and a rim cud, would create a numismatic masterpiece, potentially worth $60 million or more due to its unparalleled rarity and the feverish demand among collectors for such a perfect storm of errors. The value of these error coins is driven not only by their scarcity but also by their condition, as high-grade coins, MS65 or above, retain their original luster and detail, making them exponentially more valuable. For a 2008 penny to reach $60 million, it would likely need to exhibit multiple, high-impact errors, such as a double-struck off-center brockage on a wrong planchet, graded MS67 or higher, with a unique provenance or discovery story, such as being found in circulation by an unsuspecting collector. The 2008 penny's historical context also adds to its allure. As the last year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse, it marks the end of an era, and error coins from this year carry a symbolic weight, representing the mint's transition to the 2009 bicentennial designs. Moreover, the rising cost of copper in 2008, which made the melt value of 95% copper pennies, used in limited quantities that year, exceed their face value, adds an intrinsic metal value to certain errors, particularly those struck on copper planchets rather than the standard copper-plated zinc. The interplay of rarity, condition, historical significance, and the sheer drama of the errors themselves makes a 2008 penny with these characteristics a candidate for a $60 million valuation. To put this in perspective, the 1943 bronze cent, one of the most famous error coins, sold for $840,000 in 2021 and $504,000 in 2022 for different examples, and a 2008 penny with a comparably rare and dramatic error could surpass these figures, especially if it's the only known specimen. Collectors are also influenced by market trends, and the numismatic market has seen explosive growth in recent years, with high-profile error coins commanding record prices at auctions. A 2008 penny with a unique combination of errors, authenticated by a reputable grading service and accompanied by a compelling backstory, could ignite a bidding war among wealthy collectors, driving its value to unprecedented heights. The possibility of such a coin existing is not far-fetched, as the U.S. Mint's high-volume production in 2008, coupled with the pressure to meet demand during a period of economic uncertainty, likely led to occasional lapses in quality control, allowing these errors to slip through. Finding such a coin in circulation would be akin to winning the lottery, but collectors should always be on the lookout, checking pocket change for anomalies like doubled designs, oversized diameters, or unusual metal compositions. If you're inspired to hunt for your own $60 million penny, start by examining 2008 pennies for signs of these errors. Look for off-center designs, doubled images, smooth edges, or unexpected weight and thickness. Always have suspect coins authenticated by professionals, as post-mint damage can mimic genuine errors, and only certified coins will command top dollar. The 2008 Lincoln penny, with its potential for life-changing value, is a testament to the thrill of coin collecting, where a single cent can tell a story of minting mishaps, historical significance, and unimaginable wealth. So, keep your eyes peeled, check your change, and join us next time as we explore more numismatic treasures on this channel. Happy hunting! Next, let's dive into the fascinating world of numismatics, where a single penny, specifically the 2016 D Lincoln Shield cent, could theoretically command a staggering $29 million due to its rare errors and mistakes, transforming an ordinary 1-cent coin into a collector's holy grail that captures the imagination of coin enthusiasts worldwide. The 2016 D penny, minted at the Denver Mint, is part of the Lincoln Shield series, which began in 2010 to honor Abraham Lincoln with a modern reverse design featuring the Union Shield, symbolizing unity and strength. While billions of these copper-plated zinc pennies were struck in 2016, making them common in everyday circulation with a face value of just 1 cent and a melt value of about $0.0073. Certain rare specimens with unique minting errors have sparked rumors of astronomical values, though claims of $29 million are likely exaggerated and speculative, rooted in the allure of ultra-rare error coins. To understand why such a penny could be so valuable, we need to explore the types of errors and mistakes that can occur during the minting process, the specific conditions that elevate their worth, and the possibilities that make collectors willing to pay thousands or even millions for these tiny treasures. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of a coin, resulting in anomalies that distinguish it from standard issues, and these imperfections, far from being flaws in the eyes of collectors, are prized for their rarity and uniqueness. The 2016 D. Lincoln penny, like other coins, is produced through a complex process involving the creation of a blank planchet, the stamping of designs using obverse and reverse dies, and the application of a collar to ensure proper shape and edge, but any deviation in this process can create a valuable error. One of the most dramatic errors is the double die error, where the coin is struck twice by the die, resulting in a doubled image on the obverse, reverse, or both, with elements like Lincoln's portrait, the date, or inscriptions such as Liberty or In God We Trust, appearing slightly offset or doubled. For the 2016 D penny, a pronounced double die error, especially in high-grade mint state, MS65 or higher, could significantly increase its value, as seen in examples like a 2016 P penny with a doubled die that sold for $80 at auction in 2020. The intensity of the doubling and the coin's condition play critical roles in determining its worth, with collectors seeking sharp, clear doubling visible under magnification, which could push a 2016 D penny's value into the hundreds or thousands of dollars if the error is particularly striking. Another error that could elevate the 2016 D penny's value is an off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned during striking, causing the design to be shifted off the center of the coin, leaving a portion of the planchet blank or with only partial design elements. Off-center errors are valued based on the degree of misalignment, with a 30% off-center strike being more valuable than a 3% one, and a 2016 P penny with a 15% off-center error sold for $125 in 2017, suggesting that a 2016 D penny with a similar or more extreme off-center error in pristine condition could fetch a premium. A broad strike, where the coin is struck outside the collar, results in a wider, flatter coin with distorted edges, and while broad-struck pennies typically range from $9 to $25, a 2016 D penny with an exceptionally wide strike and clear details could command higher prices among collectors seeking standout errors. Die clash errors occur when the obverse and reverse dies collide without a planchet between them, transferring elements of one design onto the other, such as a faint image of the Union Shield appearing on Lincoln's portrait or vice versa, and a 2016 P penny with a die clash sold for $160 in 2020. Indicating that a 2016 D penny with a similar error could be highly sought after, especially if certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC. A particularly rare and valuable error is the retained cud, a type of die break where a portion of the die cracks and remains attached, creating a raised, irregular area on the coin's surface, as seen in a 2016 Lincoln cent reported by Coin World in 2016, which featured a large retained cut on the obverse covering about 25% of the surface, combined with a 95-degree counterclockwise die rotation, an unprecedented combination that made the coin a unique specimen. This cut caused vertical and horizontal displacement in the design, with elements like the 1 in the date and the T in trust appearing misaligned, and such a dramatic error on a 2016 D penny could theoretically push its value into the thousands or more, depending on its condition and rarity. Another intriguing possibility is a wrong planchet error, where a 2016 D penny is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or metal, such as a dime planchet, which is smaller and made of silver or clad composition, creating a coin that is visually and compositionally distinct. Historical examples, like the 1943 bronze penny struck on a copper planchet during World War II, have sold for over $1 million, and while a 2016 D penny struck on a wrong planchet is purely speculative, such an error would be exceedingly rare given the modern mint's quality controls, potentially driving its value into the 6 or 7 figures if authenticated. Clipped planchet errors, where the planchet is incompletely cut from the metal sheet, result in a crescent-shaped missing piece, and these errors, valued at $14 to $20 for typical examples, could add value to a 2016 D penny, especially if the clip is significant and the coin remains in high grade. Grease struck through errors, where grease or debris on the die obscures part of the design, create blurry or missing elements, and while these are less valuable, a 2016 D penny with a dramatic grease error could still appeal to niche collectors. The value of these errors is heavily influenced by the coin's condition, with uncirculated coins in MS65 or higher grades commanding the highest premiums, as circulation wear can diminish the visibility and appeal of the error. Grading services like PCGS and NGC assign grades based on luster, surface preservation, and strike quality, and a 2016 D penny with a rare error in MS67 or higher could see exponential value increases, as seen with other Lincoln cents like the 1969 S double die, which sold for $49,200 in 2022. The rarity of the error also matters, as unique or low population errors, like the 2016 cut and rotation error, are more valuable than common ones like minor off-center strikes. The $29 million price tag, while sensational, likely stems from speculative rumors amplified by articles like the one from FSUSA News, which suggested a $42 million value for a 2016 D penny with unspecified, one-of-a-kind errors, but no documented sale supports such a figure, and the highest known RareCoin sales, like the 1943 bronze penny, reach only a few million. The allure of such a high value comes from the possibility of a 2016 D penny with a combination of errors, say, a double die obverse, off-center strike, and wrong planchet, creating a singular piece that could captivate collectors. The Denver Mint produced over 4.4 billion pennies in 2016, so the odds of an error coin escaping into circulation are low but not impossible, as modern minting technology, while advanced, still allows occasional mistakes to slip through quality control, especially in high-speed production. Collectors hunting for these valuable 2016 D penny should look for anomalies like doubling, misalignment, unusual metal colors, or irregular shapes, using a magnifying glass or loupe to inspect details like the date, mint mark, or Lincoln's portrait. Preservation is critical, as cleaning a coin can reduce its value by damaging its surface, so suspect coins should be stored in soft cloth or plastic holders and appraised by experts at coin shops or grading services. Selling such a coin could be done through auctions, coin dealers, or online platforms like eBay, where 2016 Lincoln Shield penny errors are listed, though buyers must beware of fabricated or overhyped errors. The speculative $29 million valuation also reflects the broader appeal of error coins, which are like hidden treasures in everyday change, as collectors like John Seychow note that Lincoln pennies are affordable and accessible, making them ideal for building valuable collections. Historical context adds to the allure, as the Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, has a storied history of errors, from the 1922 No D penny, worth over $500 in worn condition, to the 1943 bronze and 1944 steel pennies, which highlight the mint's occasional mistakes during material transitions. The 2016 D penny, while modern, fits into this tradition, and its errors, though rare, could be found in change jars, wallets, or cash registers, fueling the excitement of the hunt. The possibility of a 2016 D penny reaching such a high value also depends on market dynamics, as collector demand, auction hype, and the coin's story, its provenance, discovery, or media coverage, can inflate prices, as seen with the 1943 bronze penny's million-dollar sales driven by its wartime narrative. For a 2016 D penny to approach $29 million, it would need to be a unique specimen, perhaps combining multiple errors like a retained cud, wrong planchet, and double die, authenticated as a one-of-a-kind piece by top grading services, and sold in a high-profile auction with significant media attention. While no such coin has been documented, the theoretical possibility keeps collectors searching, as the mint's errors, however rare, continue to produce coins that defy their humble 1-cent origins. The 2016 D penny's value also benefits from the broader trend of modern coin collecting, where ultra-modern coins like the America the Beautiful quarters show that even recent issues can gain value through errors or low mintage, though pennies, with their high production, rely on errors for significant worth. Numismatists advise checking coins for odd designs, doubling, or unusual colors, and consulting guides or apps to verify rarity, as the right 2016 D penny could transform a collector's fortune, even if $29 million remains a dream rather than reality. Ultimately, the chase for such a coin is as much about the thrill of discovery as the potential payout, as every penny in your pocket could be a ticket to numismatic stardom, waiting to be found. Next, let's embark on an enthralling journey into the world of numismatics, where a single 1989 Lincoln Memorial penny, a humble 1-cent coin, could theoretically command an astonishing $90 million due to its extraordinarily rare errors and mistakes, transforming it from pocket change into a numismatic treasure that captivates collectors and investors alike. The 1989 Lincoln penny, part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial series that began in 1959, features Victor David Brenner's iconic obverse design with Abraham Lincoln's portrait, inscribed with, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date, 1989, with a possible mint mark, D for Denver or S for San Francisco, to the right, while the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, showcases the Lincoln Memorial with a tiny statue of Lincoln between the central pillars, a design introduced to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday. With a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, a weight of 2.5 grams, a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, the 1989 penny was struck in massive quantities, over 7.2 billion at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, 5.3 billion at the Denver Mint, and 3.2 million proof coins at the San Francisco Mint, making it a common coin with a face value of 1 cent and a melt value of about $0.0072. Yet, certain 1989 pennies with unique minting errors have sparked speculation of values reaching into the millions, though claims of $90 million are likely exaggerated, rooted in the allure of ultra-rare error coins and their potential to fetch astronomical sums at auction. To understand why a 1989 penny could be so valuable, we must explore the minting process, the types of errors that can occur, and the specific conditions that elevate a coin's worth to such dizzying heights. The minting process involves several stages: creating a blank planchet, stamping the obverse and reverse designs with dies, and using a collar to ensure proper shape and edge, but any deviation in these steps can produce errors that collectors prize for their rarity and uniqueness. One of the most sought-after errors is the doubled die, where the coin is struck twice by the die at slightly different angles, resulting in a doubled image of elements like Lincoln's portrait, the date, or inscriptions such as "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." For the 1989 penny, a notable double die error, particularly on the obverse, has been documented, with examples from Philadelphia showing doubling on Lincoln's ear, known as the doubled ear error, which sold for $3,120 in MS-66 grade at a 2020 Heritage Auction sale. The clarity and extent of the doubling, combined with the coin's condition, significantly affect its value, and a 1989 D penny with a pronounced double die in MS-67 or higher could theoretically fetch thousands, though not millions, unless paired with other rare attributes. Another valuable error is the off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned during striking, causing the design to shift off-center, leaving a portion of the coin blank or with partial design elements, resembling a quarter moon in extreme cases. Off-center errors are valued by percentage of misalignment, with 3% to 5% off-center 1989 pennies worth $20 to $90, while those with 45% to 65% off-center, especially with a visible date, can exceed $200, as noted in sources like coinvaluechecker.com. A 1989 penny with a 50% off-center strike in MS-65 condition sold for $90 at auction, and a pristine 1989 D penny with an extreme off-center error could command significantly more, though still far from $90 million. A broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the collar, results in a wider, flatter coin with distorted edges, typically valued at $10 to $50 for 1989 pennies, but a well-preserved example with clear details could appeal to collectors seeking unique specimens. Die clash errors occur when the obverse and reverse dies collide without a planchet, transferring elements of one design onto the other, such as a faint Lincoln Memorial on the obverse or Lincoln's portrait on the reverse, and while these are less valuable, a 1989 penny with a dramatic die clash could fetch $50 to $100 in high grades. A cut error, a type of die break where a piece of the die chips away, creates a raised, irregular blob on the coin's surface, often covering inscriptions like, "In God We Trust." A 1989 D penny with a cut error covering significant portions of the obverse, as described on markedmoney.tech, is considered a godless atheist cent, and can be worth $100 to $200, with an MS-67 red penny with an obverse die break selling for $90 at heritage auctions. The most valuable error associated with the 1989 penny is the transitional error, where a 1989 D penny was struck on a pre-1983 copper planchet, 95% copper, 5% zinc, weighing 3.1 grams, instead of the standard copper-plated zinc planchet. This error, caused by the mint accidentally using leftover copper planchets from before the 1982 composition change, is exceedingly rare, with only a few known examples. A 1989 D Lincoln cent struck on a pre-1983 copper planchet, graded MS-65 RD by PCGS, is documented on mekebeers.com as one of only 3 known specimens, with a reported sale of $7,500 in 2018. The heavier weight, 3.1 grams versus 2.5 grams, and distinct copper color make these coins stand out, and their rarity drives their value, though not to $90 million, as historical sales of similar transitional errors, like the 1943 bronze penny, reach only $1.7 million. Another rare error is the double denomination strike, where a 1989 penny is struck over a previously struck coin, such as a dime, resulting in overlapping designs, like a sideways Franklin Roosevelt portrait under Lincoln's, as noted on coinvaluelookup.com, where an MS-65 example sold for $2,115. A 1989 penny struck on a dime planchet, weighing 2.268 grams and with a smaller 17.91 mm diameter, is also highly valuable, with an MS-65 example fetching $2,530 at heritage auctions. Clipped planchet errors, where the planchet is incompletely cut, create a crescent-shaped missing piece, typically valued at $10 to $50, but a 1989 penny with a significant clip in high grade could appeal to niche collectors. Grease struck through errors, where debris on the die obscures part of the design, are less valuable but can still add $5 to $20 to a coin's value in circulated condition. The condition of the coin is paramount, with uncirculated coins in MS-65 or higher grades commanding the highest premiums, as wear can diminish the visibility of errors. Grading services like PCGS and ncaa use the Sheldon scale to assess condition, with an MS-68 RD 1989 penny selling for $4,113 at auction, and an MS-69 RD 1989 D penny fetching $1,024, highlighting the premium for pristine condition. Rarity is another critical factor, as unique or low population errors, like the 1989 D copper planchet error, drive value, with only a handful of such coins known to exist. The $90 million valuation likely stems from speculative claims, possibly inspired by articles like those on pennymatrix.com, which mention a rare 1989 D copper penny worth over $3,000, but no documented sale supports a 9-figure price. The highest known RareCoin sales, like the 1943 D bronze cent at $1.7 million, suggest that a 1989 D penny would need an unprecedented combination of errors, perhaps a double die, off-center strike, and copper planchet error in MS-70 condition, to even approach such a value. The Denver Mint's 5.3 billion 1989 pennies make errors rare, but modern minting technology still allows occasional mistakes to escape quality control, as seen with transitional errors. Collectors can identify valuable 1989 pennies by checking for doubling, misalignment, unusual weight, using a coin scale to detect 3.1 gram copper planchets, or distinct sounds. Copper coins produce a bell-like ring when dropped, unlike the dull click of zinc coins. Preservation is crucial, as cleaning can damage surfaces and reduce value, so coins should be stored in soft cloth or plastic holders and appraised by experts at coin shops or grading services. Selling options include auctions, dealers, or platforms like eBay, where 1989 Lincoln penny errors are listed, though buyers must verify authenticity to avoid fakes. The speculative $90 million price reflects the broader allure of error coins, which are like hidden gems in everyday change, as noted by collectors who emphasize the accessibility of Lincoln pennies for building valuable collections. The Lincoln cent's history, from its 1909 debut to the 1982 composition change, is rich with error coins, like the 1922 No D penny, worth $500 plus, and the 1943 bronze and 1944 steel cents, which set the stage for the 1989 D copper planchet error's rarity. Market dynamics, including collector demand, auction hype, and media coverage, can inflate prices, as seen with the 1943 bronze penny's wartime narrative. For a 1989 penny to reach $90 million, it would need to be a singular specimen, perhaps combining a transitional error, double die, and CUD, authenticated as unique by top grading services, and sold in a high-profile auction with global attention. While no such coin is documented, the possibility fuels the hunt, as collectors search change jars, wallets, and bank rolls for that one in a billion find, making every 1989 penny a potential ticket to numismatic fame.